Dear Caleb Hammer and Caleb Hammer fans, today we're going to be putting Caleb Hammer in his own chair and doing a financial audit, but not a financial audit of his finances, but a financial audit of his app. That's right, we are doing an app review of Simpler Budget. And if you clicked on this video because you wanted me to be honest, fair, and someone who believes that everyone should be financially successful, you've come to the right place because that's what we're doing today. So first things first, we have to get on our phones and actually download the app. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and click download. And after we sign in, we have a prompt. It basically asks us whether we want to sign up monthly, quarterly, or yearly. Now, you do get a 1 month free trial, which is what we're gonna do. With that, we're gonna be able to test some of the features out and get a pretty good idea whether or not this app is actually worth it. This is the problem that I have with this app already, is that it is not free. And look, don't get me wrong, maybe it shouldn't be free, right? The opposing argument's like, well, we have to pay our developers, we have to pay to add new services. He also says that, look, we're gonna have a bunch of different features outside of just this app. In order to add all of those things, I mean, I get it, you have to charge a price. But here's the problem with the price. It's expensive. Now, when you compare it to other similar apps in this space, it's pretty good. Like it's maybe competitive in terms of pricing, but it's not cheaper. And in fact, it's more expensive than most of the competitors. But okay, maybe the app is better, right? Maybe it offers the things that you need and more out of a budget app. Now, I also understand that they do have a free version, and that free version is very, very limited. How do I know? Because I tried it out. The free version is basically unusable, at least in its current state. Now, if you're watching this 2 years from now, 3 years from now, maybe the app has improved, and I hope it has, because the price associated with it is very, very expensive for an app like this. Again, remember, Caleb Hammer is someone that says, cut out all the subscriptions, at the same time as offering one of the more expensive budgeting apps that are on the market.
I'm sorry, what?
And I get it. If you use this for a year or even a month and it helps you, and for the month you didn't pay anything, great. And if you use it for a year and it costs you $100, why not? That's fine, right? Because at least maybe it helped you save thousands of dollars, with that $100 subscription. But because Caleb Hammer knows his audience and knows the traps of these subscription companies, is he setting people up for failure? I don't know.
Hold on.
But let's put that on the back burner and actually get inside the app, and let's see all of the bells and whistles. So first thing it had me do when I got into the app is actually link my checking and my banking account through Plaid, which I really like because it's very, very easy to do. And so all I had to do is sign into my bank account and voila, I was in. After that, it grabbed a lot of my expenses and my income. But before I did any of that, it asked me, what do I want my budget to be? And for somebody that's built a budget, I kind of had a rough outline. But for somebody that has maybe never done a budget or is bad at budgeting, I don't know if this is a good place to start. Nonetheless, I went ahead and put in my expenses like fuel, my gym, my medical, my groceries, all of that, and I had my monthly budget. And then it showed me all of my transactions, which some of these were strangely not in the right category. In fact, actually most things didn't have a category or improperly categorized, which I get it. The problem that I have with this though is that I had to do each one manually. And as a person that has a business and his personal finances, it takes quite some time to, categorize everything. But the biggest flaw of all is that you can't do bulk categorization. And if you can, it's not easy to find because I could not find it. And maybe there's a new update, maybe they've added it. But at the time I'm making this video, it was not available. And that part makes it insanely complicated and time consuming to the point where I think it would have been faster to get a printout of my bank statements and actually go and with a highlighter and highlight everything. So that part sucked. And the other aspect of this is that this app costs money, and printing out my bank statements and buying some highlighters costs very, very little. And in fact, if I had some highlighters already laying around, it would cost me $0 besides some paper and ink. So with all that being said, it does a terrible job of categorizing my finances. And to be honest, I really don't like the UI. I think it's a little bit old, gray, dark, and I'm sure the light mode is great, but overall, you know, brighten it up, make it exciting. I know with finances, it's hard to make it fun and exciting, but your app should feel that way because at the end of the day, it's a consumer product. And when you log in, it should be sort of exciting, even though it is, you know, categorizing expenses. And in some cases, it's going to show you, oh, you don't have any money. In fact, you're overspending. But if you wanted to make this app amazing, you would also add maybe some kind of system. Like for example, if you reach your budget goals from the first month to the next, maybe your membership is discounted, or maybe it's free and some confetti pops up and makes it fun and exciting. I feel like all those elements are missing. In terms of the app being good or bad, I think it's an okay budgeting app. The main problems that I have with this is there's a lack of it being different, a lack of it being better, and it's more expensive. So the UI definitely needs an improvement. I think the benefits of using this versus another app need to be better, whether it's on price or actual functionality. And then categorizing. Please make this available, especially for the free users. I think that's really important. You already have to categorize expenses on the paid, so I don't know what you're really benefiting from the paid versus the free, because the free, you have to do it manually. The paid, most of it is done manually. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. But outside of that, I think Caleb Hammer has good intentions. I think he really wants to build a good app. So if the team is watching this, or Caleb, if you're watching this, I hope you take everything I said and implement it, because people in America really do need a good budgeting app that truly helps the people rather than being, you know, strictly for profit, which is kind of what it feels like right now. No offense. I think it's good on the business side, but in terms of actually helping people, it's doing more harm than good. Of course, you're gonna have your outliers, you're gonna have your stories. You're also gonna have the people who get it for free that come on your show that actually might utilize it and actually get the full benefit of it without having to pay for it. So maybe instead you maybe give it to them half off, and maybe the other users, you're able to cut the price in half. Maybe you do more strategic marketing to drive more users, so that way you don't have to charge a hefty price. Maybe you cut down some of the costs on the development front once the app is a little bit sleeker and nicer. So would I personally use this app, and should you go use this app? No, I think there are better options out there. And if you're watching this and you're wondering what are the best apps to use, I'll put some on the screen for you guys here. And if you want more financial app reviews, let me know down in the comments what other apps you'd like me to review. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, and YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy one of these pieces of content as well.